welcome everyone to the People's House.
Mr. Speaker, will you please call the House to order?
The bill is passed.
We want to make sure that we make New York a more affordable place to live, a better place to raise a family. Welcome to Assembly Update. I am Assemblymember Angelo Santabarbara, representing the 111th Assembly District, which includes Montgomery County, parts of Schenectady County, and parts of Albany County. Today, we are going to be talking about an organization in Montgomery County in the city of Amsterdam called Wishful Thinking. And we have several members of the organization joining us. Starting off, we have Calvin Martin, who is the Chief Communications Officer. Welcome, Calvin.
Thank you.
And we have TJ Seski, who is the Chief Operating Officer. Welcome, TJ.
Thank you for having us.
So I had a chance to learn a lot about wishful thinking, and I was excited to have you here on the show to talk about all the good things you're doing in our community. I participated in your 3-on-3 Stop the Violence basketball tournament, and that's kind of telling of what this organization is about. So for the audience, why don't we start off, Calvin, with a little bit of history about wishful thinking. And I know there's a spelling with the ones. We'll talk about that in a little while.
Absolutely.
But let's talk about why did you form wishful thinking, and what are some of the things you're doing?
So basically, the way that it formed is a little bit personal, family thing. My cousin Casey, his son had a disease, mitochondrial disease, and to cope with him being so young and having that disease so young, Casey's an artist, so he used wishful thinking to kind of create. So he came up with this concept of wishful thinking, that you can kind of believe anything. If you put your mind to it, you can do it. So he started to paint and draw, and unfortunately, his son passed away at the age of 5. And from there, my family, we lost our cousin the following month to a tragic murder in the town of Amsterdam. So it was that point that wishful thinking kind of stemmed and just took flight. We started to do different activities and stuff. But if it wasn't for the passing of Xavier, unfortunately, and the passing of our cousin Paulie, then wishful thinking probably would have never started. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise that these two individuals lost their lives, but now, as a team, we're able to save maybe 100, 200, 300 kids in our community. So that's basically where wishful thinking stemmed from.
And I know you have a wishful thinking is spelled with ones.
Yes. So
what's the meaning behind that?
The ones represent, it's an expression that at 11:11 on the digital clock, when it strikes 11:11, you're supposed to make a wish. So we took the wishful thinking and we put the 2 ones in wishful and the other 2 ones in thinking, 11:11. So now, like the kids, every time they see 11:11 on the clock, they make a wish. Want them to know that it can come true. Dreams are never too big. It's anything that you want to succeed in that you can do. So that's what that comes from.
And I know I've I followed your media and some of the activities and some of the events that you've had in Amsterdam, and I've attended a few of them.
Yeah.
So TJ, tell us some of the programs and what are they geared towards? What are you hoping to achieve with some of these programs?
Community involvement and just trying to get the community involved. We really we want to change the culture of Amsterdam. I've lived there my entire life, and if you go outside of Amsterdam and you hear people, you say, "Oh, I'm from Amsterdam," and kind of like, "Oh, well," and take a step back. And we want to be able to change and have Amsterdam be a positive aspect in the capital district. And I think it just starts with the youth, and if we can kind of change the youth and how they're perceived in the city of Amsterdam, and can bring the city together. So we do different recreational events, and most recently we've gotten into educational as well. We started up a homework club where we have over 30 participants, usually on a nightly basis. But I mean, kind of where we've all started from as an organization, it was recreational. So we held a 3-on-3 basketball tournament after the passing of Paulie Danfier and Jonathan De Jesus. It was called the Amsterdam Community Task Force, and it was made up of different agencies in the city of Amsterdam, such as Catholic Charities, the school district, members of the city of Amsterdam. They got together, and they were nervous after the 2 horrific deaths of what was to come next, if there was going to be retaliation in the city, if there was going to be, it was 2 Caucasian males that performed those acts on the 2 ethnic boys. So they were nervous if there was going to be different cliques in the school district once everything came. So they reached out to us. They kind of wanted a connection between the city and the upper officials. And so they came to us and asked what we could do. So back in August of 2012, we said, well, we can do a Stop the Violence 3-on-3 basketball tournament. And I don't think very many people knew what to expect. It was put together in about 2.5 weeks, and we had over 45 teams participate. And it was just an awesome day, a way to bring remembrance and a positive aspect of those 2 kids that did have their lives taken. The next year we did it again. It grew from 45 teams to about 55 to 60 teams. And then we just did it this past 2 weeks ago, and we had 75 teams in the tournament, and probably over 1,200 people come out and just enjoy the event. So just to continue to bring a positive aspect to the city of Amsterdam. We do other organizations. When I was in high school, they did a church league basketball. So if you didn't play on the varsity, JV, or freshman team, they'll go ahead and they gather teams up. So after the tournament, we went ahead and did that in the winter of 2012, 2013. Then we had 4 teams in the age group, or in the league. We've gone and progressed. We did a summer league last year. We do it outside at the Lynch Middle School courts. Last year we had 11 teams, and it's awesome just because we get to see over the years the progression of where it's come. And so last year we had 4 to 8 teams in the winter basketball league. This year we had 30 teams in the summer basketball league. So it's just ever progressing, and we're getting better as an organization. People are starting to recognize us in the community, and just hope that we can continue to grow. And our end-all goal is to be able to raise a rec center in the city of Amsterdam for a place to go, so kids don't have to stray away and do negative things, but they can come there and do positive.
Absolutely. And I attended the basketball tournament. We participated. I managed to get a team together. We didn't play as well as some of the other teams, but I saw it was well attended.
Yes.
There were a lot of local leaders there.
Correct.
A lot of sponsors you had, and people participating. And you're right, doing something positive and sending a message during that tournament. I want to talk a little bit about the balloons that were released on that little ceremony. Tell us what that meant.
So Paulie's favorite color was blue, and his friend who he passed away with, Jonathan, who was 13 at the time, his favorite color was green. And actually my mother, she came up with this idea. She had said to me, why don't you get 100 balloons for Paulie, get 100 balloons for Jonathan, and let's tie a message. Let's tie a message, forever in our hearts, and release them. So we basically just wanted to bring back why we're playing that game of basketball. We had a lot of participants, like TJ said, that came from all over the area, some from out of town. And I don't think they really realized that they were there playing a game for 2 boys that will never be able to play again. And I think it just meant a lot. So at that halfway point, we wanted to release the balloons. We wanted to award both mothers with that keepsake piece, just to remind everyone that we're here for these 2 boys. We want to make sure that this violence never occurs again. We want to make sure that you guys understand that if you feel a situation is so big that you have to act out in violence, you don't, because you can come back to it. And basically just want to represent both of them. So I thought it was an awesome idea, and I'm glad that we did it.
It was a very good message. Again, I was happy to see the community come together and participate.
Yes, absolutely.
And send that message. What are you hearing? What are you hearing from the community? You're saying that you're being recognized now. What's the feedback you're getting from your peers and other people your age as well, and from the community in general?
I think, we're very infiltrated with the school district, so they give us a lot of leeway in going into the schools at certain times. And just from the school district standpoint, I think they absolutely enjoy having us as a group in our community. Once we did homework hour, we started in late March, and it's the Amsterdam Communities Task Force again. We had a meeting a couple of weeks later on, and the principal, he was at the meeting, and we were talking, and he kind of just looked at us, and he was like, how do you guys do it? How does it make things, how do you guys get these to get these kids to come in and do their work? They show up to work to school the next day, and they have their homework done. He said 2 months prior, we were hounding them to try to be able to get that done. And honestly, what we told them is just a little bit of attention to the kids, and just giving them a little bit of attention, letting somebody know that they're here for them, and that someone cares, that they want somebody to do their homework. I was gifted enough to have a great family where I had to come home every day after school, do my homework, and then I could go outside and play basketball or go play with my friends. Where some of these homes in our community, they don't have that type of guidance, unfortunately. And so if we can be there to kind of be that holding hand and just pass them along. But I mean, just Amsterdam is a very small knit community. Everybody pretty much knows everybody. So if you walk into a restaurant, it's tough to have dinner at some points of nights, because people will just come over and just congratulate us on the work that we're doing. And it's not so much work to us, it's enjoyment to us. It's putting a smile on a kid's face is nothing better in my life that I don't understand, or that I understand. And so I think the community is really behind us. We've had numerous organizations sponsor teams, sponsor our events. We've had a great donation from a company called AJT Services, and they put a dollar amount that we didn't ever expect to come into us. And so we're really hoping to get that rec center built in Amsterdam. And just with a rec center, it'll bring a place for the kids to come, but then we think it'll bring jobs for the community of Amsterdam. But there's that new walking bridge that's going over in Amsterdam. We just really want to revitalize Amsterdam, work with the city of Amsterdam to really bring Amsterdam back to when it was in the 50s and 60s, and there was a downtown, and that's what we really want. We want to really revitalize the city of Amsterdam.
It certainly is a lot of work, and it's a lot of good work you're doing, and the message, I think, is getting through. And I'm happy to see that people are recognizing this is a positive thing and it's a good thing. I know there's plenty of ways to contact Wishful Thinking. I know you're on Instagram, Twitter, and all the social media. You also have a website. Let's talk about how can people get in touch with you to get involved.
We have our Facebook is Wishful Thinking, Facebook.com/wishfulthinking.com. We also have our online website, which is www.wishfulthinkingfoundation.com. Instagram and Twitter is also just Wishful Thinking. And what else do we have?
And then our email is the Wishful Thinking Group @gmail.com. It does get a little bit perplexed. Yes, with the
It's
ones.
True. It's true.
So if on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, it has the ones in it. On the website, it's just the wishfulthinkingfoundation.com. And then on our email address, it's just the Wishful Thinking Group @gmail.com.
If you go to Google and you type in Wishful Thinking, it'll all pop up.
It'll find it.
Just go, that's why Google's here. Let's just use the Google search engine. Wishful Thinking will come up and you'll be all set. You'll see all 5 of our locations.
Excellent. So if you want to know more about Wishful Thinking, follow your Facebook, and your Twitter is a great way to keep up with the events.
Yeah, absolutely.
I found out about the 3-on-3 tournament through your Twitter.
Okay.
Excellent.
And our website is awesome. It really breaks down a lot of what we do. We have many various various projects in the organization, like a Color My City project that we work with the city of Amsterdam. Just a couple of other things, but everything. If you want to see the gist of everything, the website would be the best way to go.
Absolutely.
And Color My City is another project that you're working on.
Correct. Last year we did 3 murals in the city of Amsterdam, the city pool, McNulty Academy on the back end of it. They painted that, and then we were actually able to put one of our logos on one of the old mills in the city of Amsterdam. So if you drive down Forest Ave, there's 4 clouds that are right there, and it's very cool. Casey Martin, he's our marketing department. He's the one who with the brains and behind that.
We'll have to look for that next time we're in Amsterdam. And you recruit volunteers, obviously, and people that want to participate, they can reach out to you. And I'm sure you had a lot of that going on at your basketball tournament as well.
It helps out. It helps the day tremendously when you don't have to worry about a couple of things and somebody's already taking care of it.
Yeah.
And so these are in collaboration with Reinvent Amsterdam, you said?
Correct.
and you're working directly in a cooperative partnership.
Yes.
Excellent. We are going to take a short break. When we come back, more about wishful thinking. Stay with us.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Every budget, so don't accept defeat. Now you can get covered and still
buy me treats.
You take care of your pets. Now it's their turn to take care of you. Visit getcoveredamerica.org to learn about your health insurance options.
Welcome back to Assembly Update. I am Assemblymember Angelo Santabarbara. You can find me on Facebook under Angelo Santabarbara or follow me on Twitter under Twitter handle ASM Santa Barbara, and I'm also on Instagram under Assemblyman Santabarbara. My district office in Amsterdam, 1170 Riverfront Center. I can be reached there by phone at 518-843-0227. Also in the city of Schenectady at 433 State Street. Number there is 382-2941. And as always, by email at santabarbara@assembly.state.ny.us. Welcome back to Assembly Update. We've been talking about wishful thinking and all of the great things they've been doing in our community. They've had a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. They've been working towards community programs to help children, youth of all ages actually participate in positive things in our community. Joining us now, we have a third guest. John Sumter is here. He's the Chief Volunteer Officer.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, John.
Thank you for having me.
And TJ is still with us here as well. Thanks for being here as well. John, tell us a little more about wishful thinking, what it means to you. I talked to you at the basketball tournament. We talked about some of the things like the homework club and some of the other things that that you've been involved with. And I saw some of the reaction from the kids that were there and some of your members. And I spoke with them directly, and it had a really positive reaction to you. Tell me some more about that.
Wishful thinking is a second chance, not only me, but for our community. The children need it. They need guidance. It takes a village to raise a child. That's one of the things that was brought to me as a child, is if I see a parent that knows my parents, I'm in deep trouble if they catch me doing something I'm not supposed to do. So for wishful thinking, that's what I feel like it is. It's like a big brother, a big sister. We look out for one another. And if you're doing wrong, we need to pick you up and put you back into place so you can go on the right path to succeed. Amsterdam, like TJ said before, is a tight-knit community, and our community needs lending hands. We need to come together and become more vocal on decisions for our youth.
And the 3-on-3 tournament is just one of many activities that you're providing. We also talked about you're raising money. In the first half, we talked about how you're raising money for a community center.
Raise a milli.
And what is that? What would something like that mean to the area?
A community center to the area will mean a place, a haven for children to go, to occupy their minds and hobbies, especially basketball. A lot of children in the area like to play. To occupy their time doing something positive as playing basketball will encourage them to stay out of trouble. Also, education. In order to play on a basketball team, your education has to be up to par, especially in our league. So we always stress that, and that's what comes along with our homework club. Our homework club is a place for kids to come and do their homework. We're not necessarily the smartest guys in the world, but what we do is we give encouragement and we help them finish their homework and want to succeed and raise their grades in school. We have a lot of volunteers that come down from the school district, teachers, and I want to thank them because they're always willing to help us. And I mean, we have kids that raise their grades, you know, from 70s to 80s, and they were excited and it felt good. Just to have somebody take their time out and show them how to, you know, do an assignment was great.
And I know you're based in the city of Amsterdam. We talked about the city of Amsterdam. What do you see for the future of wishful thinking? How far do you want this to go? What's the next steps? What do you think? What are your goals?
Our main goal is to get the community center first. I feel like we're a pilot program for other communities to come. It's a lot of dying cities throughout the country. If we can use this as an example to say, hey, maybe young volunteers in our community or community leaders, let's step up and let's see how far we can go at changing children. Give it 3-4 years and, you know, you can start to see the turn of the tide. And next thing you know, you see the socioeconomic gap change. You start to see children from different walks of life come together and they accept each other. They accept their community. Other things we do as far as community service. We have young men and women picking up trash in our neighborhood that we live in on a Saturday morning. You know, that's unheard of. We had about 80 kids picking up trash and enjoying it and taking pride in their community again. And I like to see that. That's what brings joy to my heart, is seeing pride in where you live and taking pride in where you're from.
And I think that's the message that one of the messages that you've been putting out, and
Yes.
one of the messages that I've seen over and over is to take pride and you know, if you need help, there is help.
Yes.
And what are some of the challenges you see going forward? What are some of the things that you think you see as challenges going to reaching your goals?
Some of the challenges definitely are funding. We started off as a grassroots team, and we sparked into, you know, a nonprofit. Funding is one of the things that we're looking to get to help our community out. It takes, you know, grant writing. It takes, you know, searching for grants. It takes a lot of time. We spread ourselves out, and we do so much that we can. Volunteering and having people jump on board of this is important to us.
And I know we went through all the social media. Let's give out the contact information again. Certainly, people can make donations
right on our website.
Right on your website.
Yes. And we actually bought the domain. The recreation department, Rob Spagnola, he was interviewed in the paper one day, and he was like, "Well, we're gonna raise $1 million." So we actually bought www.raiseamilli.com. So RAISEMILLI.com, or raiseamilli.com. And so if you click on, or if you go to that website, it'll avert you to wishfulthinkingfoundation.com.
And Milli is short for million, so just make it cool, you know.
So people can go to wishfulthinkingfoundation.com, your Facebook with the ones, right?
Correct.
Wishful Thinking with the ones, and your Twitter also. Your Twitter handle is Wishful Thinking with the ones.
And Instagram as well.
And Instagram. And I think those are all the contact.
And then we also have our email addresses, which is without the ones, wishfulthinkinggroup@gmail.com.
If people want to contact you and volunteer, what are some of the things they can do? What are some of the activities they can participate in?
We're always looking for help at our homework club. I think we launched the homework club in mid-March, and it was an idea from a member that we added on later on, Matthew Moeller, who's been a huge help to us and really brought us to the next level in our organization. And so he wanted to do it, and so he was able to find some grant money, and so we did that at the end of March. And so we're thinking if once the school year starts that it will be even in more abundance of kids coming down. So if there's teachers, if you're specialized in anything along those lines, we can always use the help. We can always use the help at our summer basketball league. Just kind of being there, just being a parent and being a role model, just going and talking to kids and just kind of picking their brain and just seeing what they have to say. So we take volunteers for pretty much anything.
And I know there was a lot of spectators as well, not participating, but there to watch and to offer support as well at your basketball game. The league ends on August 9th.
August 9th. So we do basically a full day of playoffs. They'll start, the first couple of rounds of games will start August 7th on that Wednesday night. And then on Saturday, it'll be basically from 9 in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. There'll be basketball games running. And then on Monday night, August 11th, we'll be having our championship games for each division. We have a girls' 6th to 9th grade division, a boys' 6th to 9th grade division, and then a high school boys league as well.
And the great part about our rec league is we play our games Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We aim them for those days during the summer when kids are liable to, get into trouble and hang out, and we want to occupy their time. So when they're not playing, we have participants helping out with the books, concession stand, helping pick up bottles and things, watching the game. Other players are cheering on their the other competitors, and it's just a great atmosphere under the lights. Games end around 10 o'clock some nights, so from 6 to 10 on a weekday in the summer, we're filling that gap in time, and the kids love it. They love it. If you go to Facebook and you look at their messages from me being a coach, they look forward to this. Imagine when you were a child and you looked forward to something, the joy it brings. And that's an accomplishment that I really enjoy.
And I do follow your Facebook, and I have seen those messages, and you do get a lot of interaction on your social media, which is good. It means people are involved. Also, they could probably find all your upcoming events either on Twitter or Facebook. Correct. Or on the website as well. Let's give out that website one more time. Is Wishful Thinking Foundation. .com. Facebook, Wishful Thinking with the ones. And Instagram and Twitter is at Wishful Thinking with the ones, again. And you also have an email, which is wishfulthinkinggroup@gmail.com. You can learn more about Wishful Thinking there. If you haven't had a chance to visit and learn about this organization, I encourage you to do so. You guys are doing a lot of good things, a lot of great things in our community, and getting people to participate, and you're sending good messages as well. I want to thank you, both of you, for being on the show. I want to thank your communications officer for being on the show as well, Calvin, and hopefully we can see you at your next event. I look forward to playing a little bit of better basketball next time.
You're a good player.
Maybe I need to warm up a little more.
We want to thank you.
But thank you for being here, and thank you for everything you're doing in our community. Join us again here on Assembly Update, where we'll talk more about great organizations like Wishful Thinking. Look them up, find out what they're doing in the community, find out how to participate, volunteer, contribute if you can. We hope that you get to the goal of building that community rec center, and we'll look forward to talking to you again soon. Thank you. There's a couple of other programs they're involved with. Homework Club, Color My City. If you need help with your homework in the city of Amsterdam, look for that as well. They're working with Reinvent Amsterdam and Color My City. These are all great programs that you can get involved with at any time with Wishful Thinking. Thank you for joining us. Join us again here on Assembly Update.